Okay, there's one part in this next video that can be very confusing, okay? You got 20 and 10. 20's bigger, so we have to open our sign towards the bigger number, 20. Now, I want to run some experiments. Let's also tear this off so you have it, okay? So you've got 20 greater than 10, okay? Now add 3 to each one of those numbers. That gives you 23, and add 3 to that, that's 13. Now 23 is still bigger, so we open it up in the same direction, okay? Didn't change. So write no change. The sign did not change. Now subtract 3 from each number. So 20 minus 3 is 17, 10 minus 3 is 7. Open it up towards 17, okay? No change. Okay, divide each number by 5, so that would so 20 divided by 5 would be 4, and then 10 divided by 5 would be 2. 4 is bigger, it opens up towards 4, so that's no change. Now divide each number by negative 5, so that would take us to negative 4, and that would be negative 2, but now negative 2 is bigger than negative 4. That has a greater value than negative 4. So this time there is a change. Anytime you divide by a negative, that's going to be a change, okay? So you're going to remember that when you're solving these. Okay, multiply each number by 2, okay? Okay, so 20 times 2 is 40. 10 times 2 is 20. Okay, 40 is bigger, so open it up towards 40, so the sign is still the same, okay? So no change. Okay, now multiply each number by negative 2. So 20 times negative 2, that's going to be negative 40. And 10 times negative 2 is negative 20. Now negative 20 is greater, so it has to open up towards negative 20. That's a change, okay? The change also happens when you multiply by a negative number, okay? So you're going to have to remember that. There's also some rules I want you to write right now, okay? Because you are going to graph these, okay? Not that, sorry. If it opens towards the x, if the sign we end up with opens towards x, the graph goes this way. If it opens towards the number and not the x, it goes this way. So write that down on the back of that sheet because you're going to constantly be using that. Okay, now you've got to solve and graph the inequality. Now there's not just one answer to this. There's many possibilities. What you use is a number line to represent your answer. You put 0 in the middle. Now look at the side of the x. What's happening to x? My first question is this. Is x being multiplied or divided? No, it's not. If it's not being multiplied or divided, then the symbol is going to stay the same. Okay, symbol will stay the same. Actually, put that over here. Okay, symbol stays the same. Okay, so now I go to this. What is happening to x? A minus 6. So we'll plus 6, plus 6. So line up your symbol. You have x, and then negative 12 plus 6 is negative 6. Okay. So now come over here, just put x, negative 6. Now you are going to fill in your circle because you have the line. Does it open towards x or does it open towards negative 6? It opens towards the number, okay? So we go this way with it. Okay? And I want you up top of it, and that's all I need you to do, okay? That means x can be any number going this way. Negative 7, negative 8, negative 9, everything that way. Okay, next problem. Here's where the x is at. Look at the operations. What's happening to x? Is it being multiplied or divided? Nope. Okay. So the symbol can stay the same. Okay. So I see minus 7, so I have to add 7. Now you got to be very careful with how you're lining stuff up. The x is here, so you have to keep it there. Okay. And then negative 3 plus 7 is going to give you 4. Okay, so that's what you have, 4 and x. You can't be flipping it around. You got to keep the x on the side it's on. You got to be very precise in how you line it up, what you put, and so forth. Okay, so we have 4. Now, does it open towards a number or is it open towards x? It opens towards a number again, so we want to go this way. Okay, so x can be like 3, 2, 1, 0, anything that way. Okay, got some decimals here, that's okay. Here's x. Is it being multiplied or divided? Nope. So line up the symbol. Symbol will stay the same. So I'm minus 0.7 and minus 0.7. So line your symbol up, and you got x on this side. Then I take negative 3.5 minus 0.7. Okay, got no more operations, so that's what we got. We have x, negative 4.2. Circle, fill it. Now, this time it opens towards the x, so it goes this way. So x can be any number going that way. Okay, my next solution. Now, is x being multiplied or divided? It is this time, isn't it? Okay, so is it being multiplied or divided by a negative? So if the answer is yes, it's being multiplied or divided, then you look deeper. Is it being multiplied or divided by a negative? Yeah, it's multiplied by a negative. Remember, when you divide by a negative or you multiply by a negative, the sign needs to change, okay? So if I have a multiplication or a division operation that I see in the problem right away, if it's by a negative, we need to flip the sign. So switch the symbol. Okay, now you just need to divide. Okay, so I now have x. You can just write down the symbol, and that's going to be negative 7. But remember, the sign will flip because you just divided by a negative number. Okay, so negative 7. Circle, fill it. It opens towards a number, so we're going this way. Okay. Okay, I'm going to keep on rolling here. Okay, look at your x. Do you have multiplication or division? Yep, you got multiplication. So is it by a negative? Yes, it is. So the sign has got to switch. So we do the opposite of multiply, which is divide. So line up your symbol. You got x, negative 2. But remember, the sign has flipped because we did a negative. So you got negative 2, circle, fill it. It opens towards our x, so it goes this way. Okay, next problem. Here's your x. Is it being multiplied or divided by a negative? Yes, it's being multiplied by a negative. Okay, that's a negative. So again, the sign flips. And we just need to divide by negative 9. Line up your symbol. You have x under there, and that's negative 2. But remember, the sign has flipped. Okay? So put your negative 2. Does it open towards a number or does it open towards x? It opens towards a number, so we're going that way. Okay? Negative 2 is greater than x. That means x has to be all values going that way. for -2 to be greater than any x value. Okay, next problem. Is x being multiplied or divided? Yes, it is. Is it being multiplied or divided by a negative? No, it is not. Okay, so since it's not a negative right there, we keep the sign the same. Two scenarios have to happen. It has to be, first off, it's actually got to be multiplied or divided. You got to see that operation with x, and it has to be by a negative. Okay, so the opposite of divide 4 is just times 4 and times 4. Okay, so we got, line up the symbol, we have x and 20, and again the symbol didn't flip, so we have 20, opens towards our number, so it needs to go that way. Okay, this one's kind of a tough one. Okay, x, what's happening to x? Well, plus 4, that doesn't tell me if the sign changed. This multiplication does. Is it by a negative? Yes, it is, so switch the sign. Okay, first let's do get the plus 4. So you need to minus 4, line up your symbol, that's 14. Now remember how to deal with multiplication by a fraction. You actually are going to do another multiplication on each side and you flip the fraction, okay? 3 over 2, 3 over 2, and the negative doesn't go away. The negative just goes up top, just like it did before. So those cancel, and we have x. So remember how to do this. You put a 1 under. 14 times -3 is -42. 1 times 2 is 2. Now I divide that, -21. But remember, because I had a multiplier of a negative, the sign flips. So x, -21. Circle. It opens up towards x, so it goes this way. Again, use that to guide you. Okay, next problem. Okay, here I'm going to have to apply the actually, hold on a second. We're going to get rid of this group right here. And yeah, we'll do those another day, okay? Okay, right here. Okay, what's happened to x? A plus 7 and a times 5. Oh, we got times, but is it by a negative? No, it's a positive, so keep the symbol the same. -7, -7, line the symbol up, you're at 15, and you got 5 times x. Now divide by 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3, okay? And by the way, the sign doesn't change, so 3. And it opens up towards our number, so when it does that, it goes this way. Opening up towards a number means all your x values are less than that. Okay, a little distributed property action here, okay? First, we got to distribute. So you get -3. I'll do this over in the corner, okay? I'll just make a little box. So I'll take -3 times 1x, and then I'll take -3 times -5. So that's going to give you -3x and then 15. So that side now is -3x plus 15, okay? Now, what's happening to your x? Well, you got a plus 15. You have a times as well, and it's by a negative, so the sign has to flip. So we have minus plus 15. We're going to have to minus 15. And -3 minus 15 is -18. Now it's time to divide. Line up your symbol. But don't graph that because the symbol flipped because we just divided by a negative. So x6. Okay, does it eat the x? Nope, it doesn't. So it goes that way. Or does it open up towards x? It does not. Okay, here's another key reminder what we need when graphing this. Okay. If you have two letters and they're on opposite sides of the symbol, get rid of the one over here by either adding or subtracting, okay? If that's positive, we're going to be subtracting. So line up your symbol. 5f minus 6f is negative 1f, and over here you got negative 6. Okay, now what's happening to the only f you have? You have an operation, it's multiplication, and it's by a negative. So flip that sign, and you need to now divide by negative 1. So you got f and 6. But remember, the symbol has flipped because we have just divided each side by a negative number. So anytime you circle, fill it, going that way. Okay, now again, when you have x's on opposite sides, I would get rid of that one. Okay, so plus 1x, plus it there. So we have 4. Now when I plus these x's, it's negative 3 plus 1, not 3 plus 1. So it's negative 2x plus 6. Okay, that looks terrible, but it... Okay, what's happening to x? You got a plus 6. You also have a times by a negative number. So because it's a negative and it's a times, the sign flips. So first we minus 6, line that symbol up just like you would in equals. 4 minus 6 is negative 2. And then divide each side by your negative 2, and you're all hunky-dory. Okay, but remember we come over here because that's where I change the sign. So I have x, negative 2 divided by negative 2 is 1. So I have 1, circle. Opens up towards the x, it goes in that direction. So remember this, and also remember to watch for. So on your assignment, I'm going to take some of these out. You're not going to do some of them. Cross out 13 and 14. You don't have to do those. So I'm going to give you a little coaching. If your x isn't even being multiplied, the sign symbol doesn't change. X isn't even being multiplied, symbol doesn't change. Not even being multiplied, symbol won't change. It's being multiplied, but it's by a positive, symbol won't change. It's being multiplied and by a negative, so flip side. It's flip to change the symbol the other direction. Being multiplied by a negative, symbol goes the other way. Okay? Being divided, divides like multiply, but it's not by a negative, so the symbol won't change. Well, times 3 times 3, that'd be good. Okay, being multiplied and by a negative, symbol will flip. You have multiplied by 4, but 4 is positive, so the symbol stays the same. You'll have to distribute first, but that'll be 6x. 6 will be times by x, but 6 will be positive, so the symbol won't change. These two you don't know if it's going to change till after you've subtracted that number and that number, okay? Then if you end up with a negative connected to the x in front, it's going to flip. If it's positive, it won't.